Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SubQuery Customer Interview Series. And today I have on with me talking about a wide-ranging array of things. Ms. Ceredis from SeaSwap and Aeroscraper. Do you want to introduce us a bit about what you guys do at SeaSwap and Aeroscraper and your background, Ceredis?
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. So what we are doing on SeaSwap and Aeroscraper, they are basically different projects. SeaSwap is some kind of DEX and Swiss Army knife for the users of DEX. So users can basically create their own crypto environment with creating tokens, creating pools, incentivizing pools. So bonding curves as Marina curves on SeaSwap, and the Aeroscraper is a stablecoin project, collateralized stablecoin project based on some lending borrowing features.
So in a way, you're building a lot of DeFi primitive projects.
Yeah,
is that kind of a good categorization?
Mm-hmm.
And you're building these both on Sei Network, which is quite new.
Yeah.
How do you find building and developing on a brand new network that's kind of just launching?
We are working with Sei from the March, I guess. So SeaSwap has plenty of time building, developing time. It's got plenty of time, but in that time we also built and developed Aeroscraper too. So SeaSwap actually based on hot and cold on Juno network. We developed it too. Maybe not much people know that, but SeaSwap is kind of ready product for us. But Aeroscraper is really interesting thing, but we very enjoyed when we developed it. Of course, it has some challenges developing two protocols. We also develop other projects for our consumers as an Novarastio team, but yeah, we are enjoying it.
Yeah, we started talking at SubQuery to Sei Network at a similar time. They reached out to us. I'm curious from your perspective, what have the challenges have been on building on Sei, and what made you decide to build both SeaSwap and Aeroscraper primarily based on Sei?
Actually, we have great communication with Sei Network team. So this part is really catch us when we develop the project. So because a project needs some a connection with the network and network team, of course. I'm not talking about the supporting from the financial things, but we need a conversation with the team. So Sei Network's conversation and talking with us is really catched us. But the hard part is, I guess, the block time, I guess.
Yeah, it's very quick,
fast.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of price feeds that come on all the time, right? They'll focus on building those primitives on Sei.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's a fantastic place to build a very a high frequency DeFi.
Yeah, it's very optimal for the building a DEXs. DEXs need some. If you have quick block time, it's very beneficial for DEXs. But yeah, we are also happy with Aeroscraper's block time too about it.
And Ceredis, how long have you been in the Web3 space for? Is this? I assume this isn't your first project.
No, it's not our first project. We developed at Juno Network at plenty of time. After that, we found some consumers. We developed them for them too. Like we are in the Web3 area like 2 years, I guess. As developers, as developing a project in 2 years, we are much more aware of the Web3 like quite of time.
Yeah, I think that's many people in the case. So let's talk about what you're using SubQuery for, because I know that you're using SubQuery for both CSwap, but you're also using it a lot more now with Aeroscraper.
Yeah.
What problems does SubQuery solve for you?
Both projects are really depend on the indexing systems. For CSwap, the Marina curves, the pools, they are both need the indexers. And on Aeroscraper, we are using indexer for showing the throws. Throws are basically using by minting AUSD, the stablecoin on Aeroscraper. So we have to show those throws too on our front end. So we need to use an indexer, and SubQuery solved that problem just fine.
Has the development experience been quite easy?
Yeah, really easy. We are not facing any problem on the indexer side.
Yeah, we just have the challenge of the fast block time for Sei Network, but that's a challenge that we all face.
I figured that.
Yeah, and you're using the hosted service as well to help help maintain and run your application, your SubQuery project.
Yeah, we are using service for that.
I guess it's a good thing when you're a small team like yourself, not having to worry about production infrastructure is a good thing to do, right?
Yeah. Of course, we can't do the things without SubQuery systems.
That's awesome. And because your main role at or your background is as a designer, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm an architect, but I'm not very fond of it. So I want to do something else, and I take the part as designer at Novorosio. I designed every project under the Novorosio. So yeah, it's a good thing.
It's an interesting background. I love hearing about what people did before Web3. An architect is something I haven't heard before. Going from building and designing houses and buildings to designing applications.
Yeah, actually, other co-founder of the Novorosio is a doctor, the medical doctor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we can't fault there's some smart people in your team.
Thank you.
How because you as a designer, right? You might often come up to challenges around designing for Web3, right? Where things are tricky to do.
As a designing subject, we bound to some rules. I guess they are not, of course, they are not breakable. You can break some rules, but at the Web3 environment, you are bound to wanting to the contracts. So as a designer, I experienced very much of that. So I want to put that I put that button. I want to show that data photo, but sometimes the contracts doesn't allow that. So we have to I have to edit the design. So yeah, I am much more bound to contract side. But the colors, the typography, the fonts, I'm totally free. So I compensate these things on that too.
We've got the same problem. We're designing the application behind our decentralized network. Yeah, designing, you have to do certain things, like you have to approve a transaction and then jump over here to do something else. It's a pain in the ass to design for. And things in the real world that would be like, oh, just automatically pay out rewards, or to people. We can't, because they have to claim them. They have to actually kind of claim things, for example. So we face the same challenges with design, and it's something very close to my heart. But in terms of the data that you show in your applications, you're not limited thanks to SubQuery, right? You kind of can show any historic data.
No. I can show, as for SeaSwap, I can show 100,000 pools on front end. So the limitation is not contained in the SubQuery part.
Yeah. It's actually writing to the chain and doing stuff onto the chain.
Yeah.
The contracts.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I hope you don't have too many heated discussions with the developers in your team around why can't we do that?
I experienced that a lot. I want to show that something. The developers say, no, we can't show that like that. So I have to edit that part. Sometimes I use my, how can I say that? My force to developers. I guess the force is not the coolest word I can use, but I use them too sometimes. So sometimes we can show that data I want on the front end.
Yeah. And you're all getting to the point now where you're not just building on one network, but you're also looking at multi-chain, right? You're looking at taking Aeroscraper to other chains out there in Cosmos or multi-chain.
Yeah, of course. SeaSwap is exclusive to Sei Network, but the Aeroscraper is going to be multi-chain. It's at our plans. So we are talking with some Cosmos-based chains, also some EVM-based chains. So yeah, Aeroscraper is going to be multi-chain, I hope.
And how will that work? Will people be able to switch between different chains when they use it? Or will they be, from the UI perspective, will they see one unified look into all of everything on all the different chains?
Sometimes we can, sometimes I can change the UI specifically for the network. For example, some network want some other colors on the design, so we are editing them, we are adding them. But a user can simply change the network on same page too. Just when you click the connect your wallet button, the list of the chains appear. You can select the chain. After that, you can select the wallet you want to use. After that, it's okay to use.
It's interesting that a lot of teams out there Web3 are going multi-chain now. Why do you think like a lot of apps or dApps and Web3 are pushing to support multiple chains now?
I guess people want to create a brand for them. I have that ambition too. I want to create a brand. So it's not feasible to do, okay, I have a product, I'm using this product on this chain, but if I want to go other chain, I use the same contract, but on another name. It's not feasible for creating a brand. So if you want to create a brand, you have to use same brand for every chain. So it's Aeroscraper for us. It's another product for other people.
So I guess it's about brand value for your product, and I guess deploying these contracts on different zones and interchain is quite similar. Have you got goals to support other ecosystems that aren't Cosmos based or Tendermint based?
In our Aeroscraper perspective, we want to go to other Cosmos chains too. If you have to do some minor changes to contract when you go other chains too, it's possible. But EVM side is completely different from the contract side, as you think about it.
Yeah, no, of course it is. But I guess that's one of the benefits of Cosmos is if you write the contracts once, as you say, there's not a huge amount of change between the different zones.
Yeah, it's not too much change. We are not much changing, not too much thing for going another chain.
So it's kind of worth, like, when you've written it once, going everywhere, because it makes sense in terms of building that brand recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
But creating a brand is quite challenging. I experienced it firsthand. So
especially in this market, right? Like there's an aspect of you build a product, but you still need to get it in front of people.
Yeah, of course. The exposure on Twitter is quite low at these times. So we are building a project, but connecting it with people, it's very challenging at these market conditions.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, we similar thing, right? Like the easy job is to write the product. The hard job is to get
it's quite easy. Believe me, it's quite easy. The hard part starts after the deploying part.
Well, it is hard. We'll say it's hard because I know the developers won't be happy if we claim it's a very easy thing. But it's fair enough. You've got the same. I think most projects out there went through the same problems. Getting product market fit is difficult.
If you are not a too much big name, you are facing these problems quite hard.
That's great. Now, one thing I like to ask everyone that joins these calls, Ceredis, at the end is just to talk about if you were to talk to yourself 2 years ago when you first sort of dived into building in Web3, what would you what advice would you give yourself?
The financial part is very hard at these moments. So if the financial things are hard, people get angry. And as a person, I really care about people's thoughts, what they write to Twitter. I really care them a lot. And sometimes it's demoralizing me. So my advice is to myself, 2 years ago, okay, you are doing something for people, you are doing something what you can. So if you read a bad comment, not stick to it, just keep going.
Yeah,
So
you need some thick skin in this ecosystem, don't you? There's some people that say some very inappropriate things online and hide behind it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about or add before we finish up? Ceredis?
Thank you for this great opportunity.
Thank you for joining us. And for those that want to keep an eye out and look and figure out more, find out more about SeaSwap and Aeroscraper, there'll be links to their website next to this video, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
I'm sure there will be. Thank you very much, Ceredis. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, James. Thank you.
Thanks.